Hello, friends. Sorry about the delay. I had some personal stuff going on, and it left me little time to edit the past few weeks. It's been a lot of chaos, and hopefully, it has died down so that I have time to get back to a routine. This is the next intermission, so it's going to be a little long, and be forewarned, there are some heavy elements in one of the first intermissions. Thank you for your patience, and I hope you enjoy this podcast episode. Last time we left off, you made it through the portal after dealing with that creature that you remember seeing in the tomb, and then he was fighting you and trying to stop you from getting through the portal. You got through the portal, and then from there you were able to get back to the sanctum, and then Zendula informs you that Suriel wasn't feeling good or something happened and he was kind of out of commission. And she went ahead and sent the sparks into all three of your lockers. And that's where we left off. So I don't think there's really any level management because unless either of you two, because I remember Tristan wanted to do a feat. I don't know if you wanted to do a feat, but everything else is just kind of blasé level ups. There's no real class fun times, really.
I don't know. I successfully took my ability scores, spread the 1 point into each of them, and I've increased my armor class by 2 by doing it.
Oh, la-di-da.
Yeah. No, I think wow, that's impressive.
Wow, that's so amazing.
Thank you. I think we can have a little bit more enthusiasm.
Well, there you go. Ben Dane, did you do anything?
I don't think so. I'm level 4 now, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you are all level 4.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty blasé, nothing terribly.
Unless you wanted to, because I double checked earlier today. There's something that adjusts your class to where you could change your fighting style if you wanted to, but I don't think you do.
Nah. Yeah. So I don't think that I picked up a feat or anything. I think I just
okay.
You're talking about
increase some shit.
Are we talking about using our sparks to grab a feat?
No. Your ability enhancement or whatever it's called. The ability score improvement, so you can choose to do a feat instead of that.
Oh, okay. I understand.
There is that option.
I think I just put some more points into maybe my strength or my wisdom, maybe.
Okay.
Can't remember which one was lower now. They were all pretty good.
Probably, I would assume. Well, I don't know. I think your strength was lower, but I haven't really seen
I think I put it into my strength. So I think my strength before was 16 or something like that.
Oh, okay. Are you getting sick?
No.
Oh, okay. Other than that, it would be your sparks. So I know, and I do remember talking about that javelin that you wanted to get. So I will allow that, Nathan, if you get 3 sparks, which you should be at 2 right now.
Correct. So I'll wait 1 more.
Okay. And then Ben Dane, you've used your 2 out of 3 so far. So you got 1 right now.
Yeah, I think I might just hang on to that one.
Hang on to it? Okay.
Yeah. Pretty boring level up for me this go around.
Yeah, level 4 is kind of a blasé, like I said.
Yeah. I think next level I get an extra attack though, so that's pretty sweet.
I think everybody gets some fun stuff.
I get an extra. I can attack twice.
Yeah, me too.
And you get fast.
Go ahead and
move.
move to number 5.
No. Gotta get through the next mission first. Yeah. Okay. So who wants to do their... Jeremy, did you have anything that you thought of for your intermission?
No.
Okay.
I tried to think of some stuff, but I was like,
Okay. I have one slightly big thing for each of you. So whoever wants to go first.
Go for it, Bendane.
Bendane?
okie dokie.
All right. I don't know why I'm so nervous right now.
Should be.
I should be?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. I don't know why I thought of this. It's a little bit dark, but I'll try to keep it lighter.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
All right.
keep
So
it gray.
I guess. All right. So you. Wow. Okay.
Good night, everybody.
What was that even?
It was an apple. It was 100% an apple. And I am so proud of you for bringing that back around.
Anyway, aside from the destruction of audio,
Yeah, sorry if you're wearing headphones.
Yeah, that's all right.
for you audience members, we apologize, but not really.
We don't. Yeah, not really.
All right.
Except for that one guy, and you know who you are.
Yeah. Yeah, you know. All right. So your days are casual. I'm not gonna pinpoint an exact time frame when your next mission, but it's a little while. So your days, the usual. You go on your hikes. You hang out with Melrose. Everything's kind of normal, but you notice in the news, the local news, that there are some disappearances. And then it starts to get more and more attention. Let me say that again. It gets more and more attention. So almost all of the local news are reporting on people going missing. And then one day you start going on a hike. And this is where you can jump in whenever, basically, if you want to investigate anything. So as you go
What kind of people are going missing? Like important people, or is it just like normal civilians?
Normal civilians. So normal civilians are going missing. Anybody from just... It looks like, if you're looking at the map of a city, it doesn't look like there's any pattern, really. It's just like people are going missing in different areas, but nobody's finding them.
All
Is making
people, old
national
people,
news?
young people.
Go ahead.
Oh, old
Like-
young people. Mostly young people. You have identified at least just the basic clues of nobody under or over the age of like 35, 30. So it's between 18 and 30 people of that
Okay.
age are going missing.
Is this
So,
over in his area?
His area, yes. So
Okay.
wherever he is in Minnesota, people are going missing. So one day you go on a hike and roll a perception.
I was completely unprepared to roll the dice.
Yeah.
Perception. That is a 12-sided dice.
I don't think that's going to help you.
16.
16. Everything seems normal at first, and then up ahead of you, you see this image of something that you can't... The 16. It looks like almost like a pure white figure darting off to one side. So you're following a path kind of up a hill, and something darts off to your right in the woods. And the woods are, let's say it's a kind of a crisp early fall, so the leaves haven't all fallen off. There's some underbrush. The leaves are kind of green and brown on the trees, and you just see this thing dart off to your right. Do you follow it, or do you just continue hiking on your pathway?
I'll follow it quietly.
Quietly.
Should I roll for stealth?
I would say roll for what is tracking survival.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Roll for that.
It's a 9 plus 4, so 13.
You have a +4.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, wisdom. Duh.
Yeah.
So 13.
And I also have proficiency in survival, I
Oh,
think.
yeah, that's
so.
right. Because you're MOS
Mm-hmm.
military. So you track this whatever it is, and it seems to just be. It doesn't seem like it notices you, so you're not catching its attention, but you're able to track it. It's like just slightly ahead, and it seems like whatever this is very fast. And then at some point, it just immediately takes a beeline. It's going like this. It's following like a path through the woods, and then it beelines in just a completely off kilter direction, almost like in the movie The Red October where they do that Crazy Ivan, almost exactly like that, where it's just like it just beelines in a totally different direction, like it something spooked it, and then it just went the opposite, like not towards you, but almost like left or right in some other direction, like something in the opposite direction was scaring it for some reason, or possibly you can't quite tell. When you get up to that point, what do you do? Do you chase after it, or do you look around for a second?
I'll look around for a second. Like I want to. If something scared it, then I'm gonna,
Okay,
keep my eyes on a swivel and kind of see if I can see what scared it.
go ahead and do an investigation.
Investigation. That is a 12.
12?
Yeah, plus 1. 13.
13. You notice that there has been, with your knowledge, that the training that you have had through the military, you notice that the opposite side that the creature was spooked by, the woods in that area seem to have altered. Something like somebody came into the woods and messed around the woods, breaking limbs and doing something in that area. Did you want to investigate that area further, or did you want to follow whatever this thing was?
So I don't see like a specific thing over there. I just see like some like broken terrain,
So
I guess.
if you look in that area, there's kind of it almost goes down, it slopes down a little bit, but there's so much kind of underbrush that you can't quite tell what is going on, but you can notice certain little things, at least, that, like a broken branches that wouldn't be caused by somebody just kind of brute force just walk through the woods instead of maybe like a deer or something had like avoided stuff and maybe broken like small twigs here and there, whereas this is like somebody just like walked through the woods with intent.
Gotcha. You know what? I think Bendane would go and investigate the bushes.
Okay. Excuse me. Do a what would that be? I guess another investigation check.
Okay. That's a 20.
Ooh, okay. With a 20, you definitely notice it as soon as you start approaching a little bit of a clearing. You see that certain branches have been like formed into these odd symbols, and then as you look around, just like the clearing, you can notice that there is a pattern to it. You don't know. No, with a 20, I will give you this, that you do recognize that some of these symbols are not
Does
good.
it look kind of like a little stick figure?
It's not Blair Witchy. It's more it's not Blair Witchy. It's more devilry. Dark
Blair
stuff
Witchy
like
in a Scrabble game.
But as you look, investigate a little bit further with that 20, you can brush off some areas that you notice that there's kind of this fluid, and then as you brush it away, you notice that one of the people that you have seen on the news that have gone missing, you just found one of them. So
snap.
you stand up, and at this point, what are your thoughts? What is your plan?
Do I have cell phone service, or am I deep enough in the woods that I can't like?
Your cell phone is spotty at this point, and roll a perception check.
12 plus 4, 16.
Okay, you hear twigs snapping and leaves crunching, and the obvious sounds of footsteps. More than likely, human. At least 2 people with a 16. You can't fully tell, but you know for sure it's at least 2 people, and you hear kind of whispering or talking, and it's getting closer.
Can I tell if the person that I found is alive or not?
You can check.
I would check.
No.
I was gonna say I rolled a 20 to find them.
I was about to say, with a 20, you notice at least by their face, without even touching them. You notice by their face, by their lips, everything is pale and blue. So they're no longer living.
Okay. Okay. Well, since the no longer missing person is no longer an alive person, I'm just gonna hide like semi close by. I mean, I'm sure. Like, do I have time to like scamper up a tree or something? So I can like, I want to try to like get the drop on them if I determine that they're worthy of being dropped upon.
Let me. Gotcha. You have enough time. I am rolling terrible, per the usual, again.
Okay, then I will hide in a spot sufficient to give me a chance to ambush them if needed.
So that would be a
behind a large tree or something.
Stealthy check.
Okay, stealth check. It is. I'm really good at stealth, I think, because I wear like heavy armor and shit all the time.
Well, you're not wearing it now, so it doesn't.
Yeah, I'm not wearing it now,
Yeah.
so I guess I don't have disadvantage then. So
no,
that's
you
good.
don't.
Okay. Well, I still rolled an 11, so not great.
Okay, I mean, could be worse.
Right. At least it wasn't a 1. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. I'm hiding.
All right, let me just do this real quick.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, and pay no attention to the fact there's a curtain in the woods.
Instead of like hiding behind the tree, you're hiding in front of the tree.
or a sapling that's only about 3 inches thick.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like standing behind a bush that's like knee level.
All right. You hear the footsteps get closer, and you hear audible conversation at this point. And as they enter the woods or enter the clearing, you see 2 people dressed in suits, and you can hear them talking. You know, this is where the anonymous phone call said to look in this general direction, blah, blah, blah. And then you hear them addressing each other as detectives. And then the one, you can tell that one is male, one is female. The one male starts kind of searching, and then it says like, "Oh, all right, it looks like we found it." And then they start talking again about, just all the different police stuff. We've got to call us in, and it's just a normal conversation about police stuff. Do you stick around for it, or try to scurry off?
I'm torn because like I want to come out and be like, "Hey, how can I help?" But at the same time, I'm not gonna be able to help them with anything. I don't know about this. And then also like it's gonna look really suspicious if I just come out like, "Hey, I was just here for no reason." But then also running away makes me look guilty.
Yeah, if you get caught.
Right. Yeah.
So as you're
Just jump out and kill them both.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna have to kill these 2 detectives for just for doing their jobs.
Howard one real dark.
As you just continue to watch them, they kind of stand up at some point and point to the different symbols that you saw, and you just happen to notice from the direction where you split off on the trail, of that whatever that was that you were following, you look over. You just happen to notice that as you're peeking out from one tree, you notice that whatever that thing is peeking out too, and then it just kind of zips away, like it as if it noticed you and then zipped away.
Okay.
So you can try to scurry away. You can just come out and be like, "Hey, I was yogging."
Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna like not necessarily like. Yeah, I'm just gonna come out of hiding, but I'm gonna make it look like I'm gonna come out like panting and like running, like I was chasing after that thing, and I'll be like, "Did you guys see a white creature running past here?" No, that makes me sound like I'm on.
You itching your neck a lot.
Right. Okay.
Hey, I mean, I've heard.
You know what?
people
That's
on-
let's
I've
let's
heard
just
that-
say that's what I do.
Okay. So you're just gonna kind of walk out or kind of run out like you were jogging or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
All right, so you do that. I guess that would be a performance check.
I mean, I'm not like lying to them though.
But you are,
Performance.
Still trying to
rolled a-
convince them.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
still trying to.
Persuasion.
You're
Right.
trying to convince them that you just happen to stumble upon this area.
Yeah, I
You know what I
suppose
mean?
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you rolled a 4.
Yeah.
All right. All right. As you come out,
Is that-
just kind of
That can't be right because I have a +4 in perception. So how is it rolling a 4? I can't roll a 0.
no performance.
Oh, performance. Oh, yeah, I have a +4 in performance as well.
Do you
Charisma,
really?
homie.
And you got a 4.
Yeah, how is that?
Just roll a real dice.
I did that the first time. That's not a whole lot better. I rolled a 9 + 4, so 13.
Okay. Again, my rolls suck. So you come out of the woods, you just kind of crash out, panting, and then all of a sudden they both turn on their heels and draw their weapons, and they're aiming at you, and they say, "Don't move. What are you doing in this area? What is going on?" They're both kind of talking over each other, kind of almost in sync over each other at the same time.
Yeah, I'm hands up. I'm like, hey, whoa, whoa. I was just hiking here, and I thought I saw something like a white deer or something, and I was just following it.
You just happen to come to this spot following something.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell what it was.
Which way did it go?
Looked like it went right past you guys. You didn't happen to see it, right? It just followed this trail over here, and I kind of point to the trail that I was on before.
Detective Chavez, I'm gonna go in that direction. I'll check it out. I'll radio on, and then the male detective, he gets his radio out and starts calling in more people to get over to that area. Immediately, he starts briskly moving in that direction with his gun still drawn out, while she still has her gun drawn on you, and she asks you to come closer. And she says, "So did you see this body?"
What body? Oh my God, that's disgusting. What happened?
So you have no idea. You just came upon this. You have no idea what's going on.
Correct. I mean, it's not a lie. I literally did just come upon this body, so.
Yeah,
And I don't have any idea what's going on.
I was gonna have you roll, but no, you're basically telling the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, no, you're not really trying to persuade her, so you just don't.
He's not telling the truth.
Okay, can you? Okay, just wait right there, and then let's say, what's the word? After a few, I would say like an hour or two, you're kind of stuck there. More police officers show up. That one male detective comes back and just kind of shakes his head, says he saw that there were tracks, but he couldn't make out what could have made it, because he said he's seen deer before and deer tracks before, but he's never seen tracks like those. And you like pipe up and say, "I can confirm that. I've never seen anything like that either."
Also, Can I put my hands down? My arms are very tired.
Yes. It's already to the point where you have a blanket over you and some
Okay.
hot coffee. That's one of those things. And the Chavez is the female detective that you now know, and she just says you can just call me Christy. So you live around here, and you were just hiking, and you happen to kind of chase after this whatever it was.
Yeah, I actually come out here fairly often, and I just happen to notice that I'd never seen a creature like that before. I come out here quite a bit.
Could you identify it? What did you any physical description?
I don't know, can I? How good a look did I get?
Negative. All you could say it was white.
That's what I say.
And she says, okay. She basically says, I guess we wouldn't need to take you down to the station. And the other detective comes over and says, yes, there is. He was at the scene of the crime. We have to take him down. We can't just trust what he's saying right now.
You can definitely trust what I'm saying right now.
All right. Obviously, at this point, he is, I guess, indignant to you. So try to persuade him.
What a turd. I didn't do anything to this guy. Persuasion. 18 plus, what is my persuasion? 4. A 22.
Whew.
I'm very persuasive.
He looks you up and down with kind of these squinty, like he has to believe you.
I mean,
type
I
of
showed up
look.
when you showed up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's I've seen I've seen stories like that before. I've heard stories like that before, and
Have you heard 22 stories like that before?
He's persuaded me. I think it's time.
at that point, this is where the 22 comes in. Christy stands up because she was sitting down with you at, I don't know, on one of the cruisers or whatever, and she says, Skinner, I think it's okay. We'll let him go, sir. Do you have a last name? It's just Ben Dane.
Yeah, like Prince or Cher.
Okay. Well, it's weird. We have your address and stuff like that. I still can't wrap my head around that. But anyway, Skinner, we have his address. We have his name. If we need to come talk to him again or interrogate him, we can come find him. Sir, thank you for your time. Again, if we need something from you or have other questions, don't leave town. We will be in touch if need be. And
I'll do what I can. I'm pretty busy. Sometimes I have to leave town like on a moment's notice.
Which is true. And she says, well, try to not make that happen anytime soon. And she reaches out a hand for a handshake.
I grab her by the wrist and I hoist her hand up and I give her a hearty high five.
Okay.
And then I smile and wink at her, and you can see the sparkle in my eye.
Are you trying?
Because remember, I never take off my toe ring.
I know. Are you trying to flirt with her? Or are you just doing the usual Ben Dane stuff?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Ben Dane flirts with literally everybody he meets.
That's fair.
And he's very persuasive.
I'm gonna say, yeah. Do a persuasion check for your Ben Dane.
It's a 13 plus 4.
The Ben Dane aura.
17.
17.
Total.
She is intrigued by your whole thing, but that's what she looks like. That's what her face. That's what her body language is exuding. She's intrigued by you, but she has a job to do.
Yeah, I'll just leave it with, hey, if you think of any other questions for me, you've got my number. And then I'll...
Yeah, I do apologize. We do have to take the coffee and blanket back. The ones that we gave you. So
I chug the coffee, and then I get back the blanket.
Okay. All right. Do you go back on your merry way to your apartment?
Can I'll just start walking in the direction that I was going. I'm gonna see if I can go track down that owlbear that I was chasing.
The owlbear?
I don't know what it was, man.
Oh, okay. Is that what you think it is?
I don't know.
Hmm.
Are owl bears white? I mean, I guess it could be
An
a
owl
white
bear
owl bear.
could be.
Why not? A snowy owl bear.
Yale's like, dang it, you guys already guessed it. Oh, ugh.
More like nice
He's like,
try.
is that what you think it is? Because that's what it is.
No, it's more like, is that what you think it is? Because it's not.
Yeah, I would hope that I
It's
don't
so
find an
far
owl
from it.
bear when I'm level 4, because
Yeah, they're vicious. And
Yeah.
that would be something where I don't think something like that could easily just get through a influx portal. And by influx portal, I mean that isn't a stable portal and anything can happen if you go through one.
fair.
So, you never know. Anyway.
Right.
Um,
So I'll head off in that direction.
okay. You go hiking. Okay, just double check. You're hiking back in the direction to track that thing again.
Correct.
Okay. Do you wait until you're out of kind of the whole perimeter of the police?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. And then once you get to that point, you go ahead and roll a, I guess,
Another survival or a perception
what's a little bit,
or investigation.
well, you don't have night vision, so it's getting a little bit darker out.
Right, yeah.
So I'll give you, yeah, I'm trying to think. I guess investigation, or no, because you're trying to track this thing again, so I guess survival would be the one.
Okay. I prefer that because I don't have a +1 in investigation.
Mm.
That is a 16 plus 4 is a dirty 20. Dude, my rolls are on point today.
Or are you just faking them?
It's gonna really bite me in the butt when I mean I rolled a 4 before. It's gonna really bite me in the butt when I have a really important roll and I'm gonna screw it up.
So even through the slowly creeping night that is building like a blanket over the sky, you
I
are...
am fairly familiar with the woods, like around here, so because I hike them a lot. So
I was getting to that. You are able to get back to the point of where you were and start following the tracks of this thing. With these tracks, you notice that it almost looks like, because you've hunted many different things, it almost looks like oversized rabbit feet. And you follow it deeper and deeper into the woods. Now, it gets to a point where it's starting to get very dark and it's very deep woods. Do you still continue after this thing? Or do you kind of cut the trail short and go back?
yeah, I think if he's playing it safe, if it started getting that dark, he's not gonna go looking after an unknown, possibly vicious creature alone in the dark.
Okay. Do you go
Bindin's
back?
crazy, but he's not stupid crazy.
Right. Do you go back the way you were going to hike? Are you going like straight back to your apartment?
Yeah. I'd say using the most familiar and safest route, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you get back to civilization. You were able to get back onto the roads and reach your apartment. From there, you open up your apartment. Melrose is actually chilling and watching something on... what's a better word for it?
Some kind of royalty-free streaming service.
Yes, there we go. We'll go with that.
I think we did have a word for it when we started.
No, I only came up with sequel for...
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And I forgot the other one. I had to figure it out. And
He's watching funny dog videos on Petflix.
and he turns and you see him eating popcorn and he says, "Hey, Bedane." And then he double checks his watch. He's like, "Whoa, you were out late. That was a long hike."
Yeah, I'll tell you all about it, and I do.
After a beat, he's like, "That is crazy. Wow, I just saw some more reports of, well, there was one that went missing a couple days ago. Nothing too recent. That's just tragic. And this thing, You have no idea what it is?
No idea. Couldn't get close enough.
Well, it must be really fast. Well, at least you're out of the woods and back home. It's kind of scary. That's very close to the apartments. Should we be worried?
No, I don't think so. I mean, unless it followed me home, it doesn't know where we live, right? So.
I mean, as far as you know, you have no idea.
And I would know if it followed me home.
Would you?
I don't know. Would I? I do have a 14 passive perception.
Interesting. Well, with that, Melrose just takes a breath and just tries to calm it. You can see he's a little unnerved. Not less of the whatever it is, and more of the finding, sadly finding a person no longer living in the woods near your apartment.
That's fair.
So, do you just get up to take a shower, or do you just chill on the couch with Melrose and just watch the puppy dog videos?
Yeah, I would take a shower. Play all sweaty and gross.
Right. As you get up with a passive 14, do any of your windows in the living room look out to the woods or in that direction?
That depends.
On me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
100%. I would say. Well, wait.
I was thinking a studio.
Did you say any of the ones in the living room?
Yes.
I don't know about the living room. I feel like I would rather have a nice picturesque window in the kitchen, because that's probably where Bendane does most of his entertaining.
Okay, then
I'm gonna say no. I don't think he does have any windows facing the woods in the living room.
I'll do this for story's sake. You take a shower, you go to the kitchen to get something to drink or eat or whatever, and through the window you swear you see something in the distance in the woods, and then nothing. And then the next day, do you ever read the paper? Does Bendane read the paper?
Probably just iPad uses the news.
So you're flipping through the news articles and roll a investigation, or no, a straight up wisdom check.
Wisdom 19. Jeez, oh, Pete, plus 2, 21. Wait. Oh yeah,
21,
just a straight up wisdom, not a saving throw. So yeah, just 2.
Okay, so is it 21?
Yeah, 21.
Oh, good grief! All right, so with that, you start noticing patterns in the articles, and then you start to go on that whole conspiracy theory, putting the little pins in the map, and then drawing lines and figuring everything out, and you realize that
is a stick figure.
Well, you figure out that you're pretty sure that the woods near your house is the place where they're putting the missing people that are no longer alive, and that whoever it is, from what Melrose told you last night, that there might be another victim tonight. So you now have this information. What do you do?
I'm going to call the detective. It was Christy Chavez. Christy Chavez. Let me write that down because I'm gonna forget it again. You spell that with a K, Kristy. Christy.
Dude, how did you know
Chavez. I don't know.
Wow, that's crazy.
Is that not how you always spell Christy?
Christy.
Oh, okay.
There's that one.
I just know how you spell things.
No, I did the random name generator, and that's how it popped up. No, I would spell it CH.
All right.
But that would sound weird.
Tristy.
Chavez. Yeah.
Yeah.
CH. Anyway.
Yeah, fair. Okay. So I'm gonna call her and say, I have a wicked hunch.
Obviously, this is just kind of in the air. Yes, you just met her last night, but do a persuasion just a persuasion check with advantage because you
With
did
advantage.
roll.
Oh god, that's another 19 and then a 7. So 7 persuasion plus 4, so 19 plus 4, 23 with advantage.
Okay, the way you speak to her is you're adamant. It's like the military matter of fact. This is going to happen. I'm going to go stop it. Are you coming with me? And just the way you came off and talked to her, she was like, all right, like, you're not going there alone. I'm coming with you. And so she says she'll meet you at the entrance to the woods. So within a few, I would say half hour to an hour. Nah, not half hour. She meets you there. It takes some time to get there, and she gets out and checks her weapon. And do you take anything with you? Just your bare fists, or?
No, for sure I would bring a weapon. I mean, Ben Dane definitely has like guns and stuff. But how are we going to do that in a D&D universe?
Well,
Because I remember we said like the guns don't work like in some of the other planes and stuff that we've gone to, right?
No. They do, but if you were to go into another dimension with that weapon that has not been invented yet, it would mess up the whole balance of everything. So you have all this stuff with magic. Imagine adding firearms to that, and then you now shifted power for anybody that has like that grabs that weapon or like kills you and then takes that weapon. It's like, okay, we could just reverse engineer this, and then now we have magic and firearms, and now we can just take
Magic
over the whole world.
firearms.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the whole reason why you all get up in the outfits that you do, use the weapons that you do, is because in this world, in this dimension, magic is at a low end and technology is at a high end, and the reverse is sort of the reverse, where more magic technology and magic in the other dimension.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Sure. You. What you
Yeah.
take,
Well,
right?
then I would. I mean, Ben Dane would definitely take like a pistol and a rifle. So that's what he's got.
Okay. She tells you to put the rifle in the car, the police car, because you're with a detective and she doesn't want to have to deal with that mess. But you're hiding your pistol. So do you put the rifle in her police vehicle?
No. I'll do this. Like it's on a sling, so I'll tell her I'll just sling it across my back, and it'll be emergencies only.
She breathes a heavy sigh and says, "All right, which way do we go?" And then you basically just have her follow you, and you trudge along. And so the site that you're at, you go deeper, and it just so happens you remember the path that you went later that night, and it's the same path except it veers off to the right. You're almost positive the direction, because you plotted everything out, and you're positive this is the next direction. This is the area that the next dumping ground, basically. So do a perception check. So you're close. You're close enough. You're sure that there's a area, but it's still kind of a wide area to figure out pinpoint where. So do a perception to really pinpoint the area.
Can Christy assist me?
I don't know how much good, but yeah.
It's got to be better than what I rolled, because I just rolled a 1.
She rolled an 11. Actually, no. 12. Okay, so
I didn't see anything. I got there, and then I completely forgot how I got there.
It's just like subconscious. You just kind of.
It's like when you walk into the kitchen to get something, and then you're like, what was I here for?
So she hears something that you don't, and then she kind of gently kind of taps your shoulder and points her head in a direction, and then all of a sudden you now hear the same thing. It sounds like an argument almost, and then as you get closer, you come over. It's almost like a hilly type of thing. So it's a dense forest, and then as you get closer, it kind of comes up on a hill, and then you go over, and it almost comes down into like a very shallow valley. And at the bottom of the valley, you see somebody with their back turned to you. You can't tell if they're holding anything, but they're wearing kind of it's not quite a bomber jacket, but it's similar to that, but it's got like a dark, shiny material. And then
Like a patent leather or something?
No, more like
Something Eddie Murphy wore in Raw.
No, it's more like puffier. I'm trying to describe it.
Something Prince wore in Purple Rain.
Further, and then just a little bit past that figure, you see glimpses of white, and then what looks like possibly two more figures behind that white figure. So you're looking at almost 4 things right now, and 3 of them are facing towards you, looking at the one figure that is facing away from you. So Chavez at this point goes into a sprint and unholsters her weapon, and she kind of it's one of those like TV scenes where they try to run up as quick as they can to a point, and then they stop against a tree and tell them to freeze, don't move. And then as soon as that happens, so are you still did you follow her, or are you still kind of up the hill where you could, if you needed to, pull your rifle?
Yeah, I'll stick back. I'm gonna kind of hope that they haven't seen me. And
now in the direction you're facing, just to let you know, like if you were to shoot your rifle, you'd be the bullet could pass through. I know this is dark to say this, but your bullet could pass through that figure, through possible innocent lives. So just that's the angle that you're looking at right now. So it's like,
or they could all be bad.
They all could be bad. But as soon as she says what she says, freeze, this is the police, drop your weapon, hands up, immediately the figure that was facing away from you is kind of they almost had like a hunched back, and all of a sudden their back straightens, and their head
furrows wings.
Their head kind of turns to their left a little bit, and all of a sudden you see that there's something shiny in the right hand, and it's pointed at the other 3 figures. And all of a sudden, as you see them turn, it's the Detective Skinner that you've seen the other day. And at this point, Detective Chavez is like, Skinner, what are you doing? And he's like, he basically says, he extends his left arm as he's like, calm down. Like this thing, whatever this thing was about to kill these 2 children. And now when he says that, you do see this figure in front of these 2 children that is standing in between them and Detective Skinner. With a
So wait, is Skinner the one that's in the dark?
Yes.
Clothes? Okay.
Yes.
So he's in the dark clothes, and then the other thing and the 2 children are in the white clothes.
No, just the thing. So with your passive perception here, I'll finish out the scene. With your passive perception, you finally realize that is the thing that you were chasing, and that thing is a giant humanoid bunny.
Creepy.
It's got its arms stretched out like it's trying to block Skinner from the kids, and the kids are like look anywhere from like 15 to 18.
So it looks like it's trying to block Skinner from the kids.
Yes.
Like it's trying to protect them?
Possibly.
Okay. Bendane's gonna start like moving to one side and like flanking position, if you will.
Skinner doesn't see you.
Good. Because I don't trust Skinner already. He didn't like me with no reason. So,
Hold on. Do you have your Babel device on?
yes.
Are you just saying that?
That depends. Will it come in handy?
I don't know. Dang it.
I never leave home without it.
Yeah, I think I would. Like, I mean, because Ben, he's run into like freaking fairies in the club before, right? So he would.
They weren't fairies.
Well, think of it this way: that device is so cool. He probably has it on all time, so he can hear anything.
Right? Yeah. You know, even if like a Nicaraguan was walking down the street, he'd want to know what they were saying too.
So with your Babel device, and you see that this humanoid bunny notices you strafing, and without moving, so you hear two distinct languages. So in your one ear that has the Babel device, you hear this creature shout out, "This is not a good person," and then you also hear it in a different language. That has Ben Dane ever been in the Mediterranean?
Yeah, probably. I mean, if it was in the Marines, he probably went like 23rd Mew or something like that. I'll say yes.
Okay. So you almost recognize that language. So obviously you hear it in English, but you also almost recognize the other language. And then when that thing says that, Detective Skinner tells it to shut up, and then turns back to Detective Chavez and trying to convince her to put her gun down, that he's in the right. He's telling her that this creature was gonna attack and kill these kids. All the while, he's just kind of like holding this knife to the creature and the other three, or like towards the creature. Chavez is kind of conflicted. She's like, this doesn't make any sense. Put down the weapon. But you can tell, like, she's not, like, everything is too overwhelming. She's seen this thing. She's seen Skinner. Let me roll. No, rolled low again. She's still conflicted. She doesn't know the appropriate action at this point.
Okay. Ben Dane is reading the scene here, and he can tell that she's not. That she's kind of freezing up over there. So he's gonna yell like over to her. He'll expose himself, right? He's gonna yell to her. And he's wait, not like that. Yeah. He'll yell over to her and say, don't believe him. I'll say, he's what's his name? Skinner. Skinner is lying. The Easter Bunny is protecting the children.
Dang,
Easter Bunny would never hurt a child.
I still rolled stupid low.
I rolled an 18 for whatever that's worth.
Oh. Well, okay, let me roll. Okay. So with the 18, it helped her realize that if a detective was out in the woods chasing down something, then where is his firearm? So
yeah,
she
why is he using a ceremonial dagger and wearing a cloak? Weirdo.
Oh, actually, he's not wearing a cloak. It, like I said, it looks like almost like a bomber jacket.
Oh, like a bomber jacket, right?
So if he were to, you can kind of tell that he's wearing, for whatever reason, he's wearing his police jacket, like almost like the winter or the rain jacket that they wear.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So it has that kind of like dark bluish, like glossy look.
Cold weather duty coat.
Yes, thank you. And so she says one last time, put down.
I made that up. I don't know if it's right.
I think you're right. I think it's something like that. But she says that one last time, convinced from your words that like this something's not right, and she realizes it. And then you can see, just like from your distance, even he grits his teeth and says like he can't think of anything to say, and he just like
Ben Dane reaches for his rifle,
and he immediately turns to face the creature, as soon as he does, the creature does like this huge bunny kick, just like straight into his chest.
Nice.
And
I was gonna say that out loud, but I'm glad that you said it.
and it just knocks him to the ground. So you both have a brief moment to like stop him. So she rushes him and well, there's enough to kick the dagger out of the way before he gets up, and then he tries to grapple her. And,
Oh, Bendane's gonna run up and kick him right in the face.
Okay, roll an attack.
That is an 8 plus. Where's my attack? Where are you? There it is. Oh, it's just plus my strength, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So plus 4.
So what would that be? You rolled an 8?
Yeah, 8 plus 4
Okay,
is 12. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. My hit DC for an unarmed strike is a 6. I found it. So 8 plus 6, 14.
Oh, okay. So he's grappling with her, and then you run up and just instead of kicking him in the face, you cold cock him with the butt of your rifle, just blast him in the cheek.
Yeah, that's better.
So her gun falls in the struggle, and then he gets knocked back down to the ground. So she stumbles back for a second, and then do you just like pull your gun on him?
Yeah, hold him at gunpoint. Yeah.
Okay. And then she grabs her gun really quick, and then tells him not to move, and then gets a knee into his back, and then handcuffs him. And then all of a sudden she gets on the... I don't know, I'm trying not to say some of these words. After you said all of a sudden... I'm trying not to say it. After she handcuffs him, she grabs her radio and radios in that she needs backup. That she pauses for a second, and basically the rabbit in the room is staring you both in the face. So this rabbit that you can clearly tell now is an almost all white rabbit, humanoid, and it has kind of raggedy clothes on, and like it's got the tail, it's got big long ears on top of its head, and it looks kind of shy and worried. It doesn't know exactly what to do, and you can tell that the kids look relieved. At least they basically say like this, whatever this was, the the Easter Bunny saved us.
Nivens McTwisp over there. That's a deep cut. That's the name of the rabbit in Alice in Wonderland.
What is it?
Nivens McTwisp.
Is it really?
Yeah, he had a name.
The White Rabbit?
Yep.
Huh. Is that in the book?
I don't remember.
Okay.
It was either that or the Tim Burton movie. One or the other.
Okay. So she looks at you, and Chavez looks at you and says, I have no protocol for a giant rabbit. What do we do here?
I'm gonna talk to the rabbit.
Like an aside, kind of like a side huddle?
Yeah. I'll say, like, wait here, and I'll go talk to the rabbit.
So the rabbit is kind of like it has its hands kind of back and forth, like it's holding its hands like worried type of look, where it's kind of like just rubbing its hands together. It doesn't know what to do. It's kind of worried, and it was
the Tim Burton movie, by the way. I had to look it up. It was gonna bug the shit out of me.
Okay. And it follows you, and
I'll just say, like, don't be scared. I'm here to help. Where are you from?
And again you hear that dual language. It says, not from here, from...
No kidding.
From Island.
Island. Okay.
Island, in ocean.
Just where they typically are. How did you get here?
Was
it a portal? Did you walk through a portal? Or was it like... Wait, let me back up. Have you always been a giant talking rabbit?
Yes. Well, yes. Ancestors weren't. I am. We were all born and then changed by spellcaster, and a doctor came to save us, but failed, and I ran away. Portal, maybe it's what you say. Gate through air, gate through space.
Like a Stargate?
Like
Did you ever see
gate
that
through
movie?
air. No,
Talking to the rabbit.
no. What is movie?
Yeah, I know. Okay. All right. Do you know where that gate is? Could you get back there?
No, it's gone.
Closed. All right. Okay. Do you have a name?
Man, I thought it was covered. I had everything covered.
You thought it was Nivens, didn't you? But I took it from you.
Give me 1 second.
Is there a fantasy name generator for giant rabbits?
That's what I'm looking up. I don't think there is.
Bugs Bunny generator.
Oh my gosh. There's that doesn't make any sense. There's a moon
there a-
rabbit, but
Beast
That's
name
all.
generator, maybe?
dang it.
I'll just call you Thumper for now.
Okay.
Okay. Surely that's not copyright. Well, let me ask you this. I promise you, I'm a really nice guy, and I know lots of really nice people. I know a place where you could stay. Would you like that, where you're gonna be safe?
And you find a way to get me back home?
Definitely work on it for sure.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Bendane wiggles his toe and calls the
Right there in front of Detective Chavez.
No. I was thinking that. I was hoping maybe your back was turned or something.
So her hands go up in a shrug, like, what are we doing? The backup's coming. Like, what
Ooh.
do I do with this thing?
I'll tell her, hey, you know what? Grab Skinner and take him to your car.
Well, the kids. I'll take the kids with me too, I guess. All right.
What? No, I'll take care of the kids right now. You just take Skinner. Don't take a freaking dangerous villain and small children at the same time. What are you doing? It's ridiculous.
Okay.
That's ridiculous. You kids, you run on home.
In the woods.
At night.
Oh, that's right. It is night. Never mind. Man,
That's like-
Van Dane,
that's
you are
like-
really irresponsible.
It's like late afternoon.
Here, kids.
but
Here,
still-
kids. Take my gun. Good luck.
Right? Here's some Cadbury eggs. You know, because they're laid by rabbits.
Yes,
I got it.
we know.
Yeah. Okay. Shoot. Ben Dane just pulls out his rifle and kills the rabbit. He's gonna eat it. No.
This is a family show. Why would you do that?
I know a safe place. Heaven. You're welcome. Here's your gate.
Ciao.
Here's the pearly gates. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'll just stick with the original plan of telling her to bring Skinner up to the car. And then yeah, I'll summon the portal to why do I keep losing the word for it? I keep thinking sanctum in my head, and that's not it.
It was a sanctum because I couldn't
Okay.
find a word. It's the Preserver's Nook. Preserver's
Yeah,
Nook.
Preserver's Nook. Okay, yeah, and I will summon a portal to the Preserver's Nook, and I'll do it right in front of the kids because who's going to believe them?
Are they coming with you, or what? What are you doing?
The kids? No,
Okay, they're just gonna watch you walk through a portal.
I'm just going to send the rabbit through the portal. I mean, like maybe I'll just poke my head and be like, "Hey, freaking rascal, come here."
And she's like, What is going on?
I have a rabbit. I have a giant rabbit.
I see that.
So far, I've been calling him Thumper. Other names we could use, maybe Roger, maybe I don't know, Peter Rabbit. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. You know, famous rabbits. Gotcha. So I'm supposed
Tricks.
to just.
Sure.
Some just. Okay. All right. So she just kind of like.
He came from a different dimension, and he doesn't really know how he got here. I'm assuming it's a he. I don't even know.
She asks the rabbit real quick, and the rabbit turns and says, "I am girl."
Great.
And
so I
Rascal's
figured
like, thumbs up. I'll take care
she
of it.
could be safe here.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Portal closes.
Yep.
And then I'll look at the kids and I'll be like, it's $20 each. You never saw anything.
We don't have $20, sir. Can we just?
No,
go
I'm giving
home?
you $20 to shut up.
Can you just take us? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can you just take
Giving
us
them
home?
$20. Don't
Wait.
tell anybody that you saw a giant
Can we
rabbit.
go home?
You thought he was asking the kids for $20? that makes no sense.
I don't know.
Okay.
Give me your money, kid. You see that rabbit? Give me your money. You're welcome. Are you entertained? Yeah, you can go home. I don't give
It's just, I don't know. I'm making up crazy stuff here, Nathan. I don't know. I got lost in the weeds.
It's the sickness. It's a fever
So
brain.
you trail Chavez, and you
Wait,
take the
is
kids
it
with
nighttime?
you.
Is it? Oh, no, it's like
It's
afternoon,
late
right? Yeah, these kids
afternoon.
are fine. These kids are fine. They'll be fine.
Okay. All right. So.
Okay, I'll give them my gun so they can be safe on the way home. Just kidding.
So you take them with you to the edge of the woods.
Call them an Uber.
Other police arrive. They say, we'll take care of the kids. Detective Chavez fills
And I'll
everybody
say, I'm
in.
pretty sure that guy gave them acid. If they start saying crazy stuff like they saw a bear with a owl's head or a giant rabbit or something, don't even believe them.
Okay.
Okay.
They just look at you funny.
And then I'll go sit by Chavez.
She's a little flustered. You happen to pick up the ceremonial dagger or whatever the heck it was that she kicked away, and you hand it to her, and she just kind of looks at it and is just, I don't know, she's just like still trying to process, like, my partner was a cult dude that was a serial killer. I met a giant white rabbit, and yeah, so she's like,
Big day, huh?
yeah, this is where my life is right now.
Well, they're there. They can't all be winners, can they?
Apparently, well, I guess this one was.
Hey, yeah, the important thing is that you gotta kill you being the key word here, got a killer off the street, and you saved the life of those two kids. And, it sounds like you already got a full confession out of Skinner, so you'll be able to...
So you're not going to help, you're not going to take credit?
No, the less people know about Ben Dane, the better. You'll be able to provide closure to the other families whose loved ones have gone missing.
Even though the one thing she'll notice is the fact that you spent all that time in the woods and hadn't gotten dirty at all. Why are you so stinking clean after all that?
Oh, wait, no, he's not wearing his armor.
Oh, I thought it was...
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
my bad.
No,
My
it's
bad.
not Gaia.
Yeah.
It's just regular Earth.
Never mind.
Wait, can I spend a spark to make it so that Ben Dane, like, legit never has to take a shower?
It's
You're
more
going to waste a spark on that.
It's more for equipment, not your own body. That's weird. Anyway, so
No, go ahead.
stands up.
It'll ruin the end.
She stands up and puts her hand up for a crisp high five.
Ben Dane will give her a hug and a little kiss on the cheek. He'll say, I'll buy you a drink. My treat.
I was about to say, maybe we should catch up and talk more about whatever this was, yeah, just give me a call.
Are you busy now? Let's just do it now.
Yeah, I have a ton of paperwork. I just captured a serial killer. I saved 2
That's
kids
right.
and saw
You
a
did
giant
just
rabbit.
capture a serial killer.
Well,
You have a lot of work to
Didn't
do.
want to take credit, so this is where we're
Go
at.
out. Good point. Okay.
How about I give you a call?
Sounds good to me.
And she says goodbye to you, and then she deals with
Scene.
all of the craziness.
She's not even going to ask me about the rabbit?
You said to leave it, so she. Plus, she just said she'll talk.
Oh,
about
yeah,
it
yeah,
later,
yeah.
so.
Yeah, okay.
All right. That is Ben Dane's fun time and intermission. Anything else you wanted to do?
He's going to stop off on the way home at a specialty meats store, and he's going to pick up some rabbit to make rabbit stew for Melrose when he gets home.
All right.
Ben Dane's life is full of irony in it.
Found a rabbit, killed it. All right. We'll leave it. We'll leave it as a cliffhanger. We won't know if Melrose is off his vegetarian diet or whatever I called it, or if he's deciding to.
I was curious how how Melrose's business is going.
Wait, where?
Yeah. Actually, yeah, let's do that. So, Ben Dane, I mean, if you want to, we can explore that scene.
Okay. Let's do that real
Okay.
quick.
So Ben Dane plops down a hearty bowl of rabbit stew in front of Melrose, and he says, "Hey, how's the networking and business going?"
Oh, what is that?
Soup,
What kind of soup?
good soup.
It smells so delicious. Okay, I guess I can drop my diet for now, if you're being so nice to make food.
You know, you look great. You can take a day off.
Oh, you're such a charmer. I don't know.
I wouldn't say you look thin. You look healthy. You look
Thank you.
great.
Well, we both work out, so.
It's true. That's true.
And as far as the networking, I think I got at least 2 people invested. I think that might be enough. Should have a handbag line, and I'm working on a clothing line. I'm not going to do some stupid crap where the runways, you know how they are, where they just do like super fancy stuff. I'm going for elegant and like affordable. Does that make sense?
Of course, it makes sense. That's what everybody wants.
Exactly. So, I figured get these investors, do some draw ups and designs, and just go from there. I have a couple people on my crew. You remember Lisa and Tiffany at the club?
Did you say Letha? Like with a TH?
No, Lisa.
I'm sorry,
You
Letha?
I'm gonna smack you. I'm gonna smack you really hard. And you know what I mean. And those 2 are designers. So they're helping me work some of the designs out, and we've been it's going really good.
This is Jeremy asking Yale. Are those the 2 girls that were like fiends or something that I
No. Those were the 2
Okay.
girls that went to the club with you that one night with Melrose, and he met with the investor.
Okay, yeah.
I just made up
Gotcha.
names right now. So
Okay.
so that's Melrose, and he decides to have like a spoonful of soup. He's not trying to go overboard.
A spoonful of soup.
Yeah, just
For dessert, maybe he'll have an M&M.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, like a ladleful.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah, that's what I
I
meant.
thought you meant like he took like 1 bite of soup and he was full.
Teaspoon of soup.
Just the broth.
It's so good. I couldn't eat another bite. All right. So that's Melrose. That's a super fun time with Ben Dane. It went on longer than I wanted it to, so do want to jump over to Lachlan. Hopefully.
All right, Lachlan, you've got 15 minutes. Let's do this.
All right, speed talk. Let's go.
All right,
Went out, bought a bottle of sleeping pills, and I've been asleep for 3 weeks.
Okay.
And scene. Let's go back to the Protector's Nook.
Preserver's Nook.
Yeah, it's better
Preservers.
than-
Well, I will throw so many detriments on your character. You'll just be saddened.
You understand this is the new Carruthers, right?
I was trying to think of the name. I was about to say it myself. Shoot.
I didn't until you just said that.
For
Okay.
the life of me, I couldn't think of the name.
Dang it.
We'll write it down. Preservers.
Preserver's Nook. Yes.
Poseidon's
spell it.
neck.
Do.
I don't know how to spell preserver. I gotta look that up later.
All right. So, Lachlan.
Dang it!
Okay.
I think I just used the best one with Poseidon's neck. Shoot.
I have come up with a little bit of stuff I'm doing. Can I do that now, or you want me to? You can do your thing.
Well, let's see what you got, and then I'll weasel my thing in.
Okay, yeah. So I get back home. I'm feeling a lot more confident. We've gone on what 3 missions now?
3 missions, yes.
Yeah, and things are going pretty well. They've some hairy situations, but I've been able to hold my own. I'm feeling confident in my abilities. Like unpacking the stuff and harnessing my anger at times still seems to be difficult. And so I'm hanging out with that girl Erin.
Mm-hmm.
I met at one of the classes, and so she convinced me to start going and like getting in touch with nature. Kind of like I was like, yeah, because I just became this totem warrior with my eagle, and I'm like, yeah, I want to like get out in nature more and understand what that's all about and kind of become one with it and connect with it and stuff. So we start going to these like local hiking trails and stuff. There's this place called Busey Woods. It's just inside Chicago. It's like got some nice wooded areas. You walk around and we just kind of enjoy our walks and talk. And like we even spend a whole Saturday. We drive out to this place called Starved Rock State Park, which is just on the north side of Illinois. I find out online that it has like this Eagle Cliff outlook, which makes me immediately like attracted to it. Apparently you can see all these like bald eagles in this area. So like we actually end up deciding to go camping one night in separate tents, of course, because we're still just kind of friends. But we go hiking throughout this whole state park and we see all these eagles and this outlook. But the whole time just kind of getting one with nature, and times where I'll just completely sit quietly and in front of a fire or just out in the woods and just listen and kind of just soak it all in. It's helping me to center myself, I guess you could say.
Okay. So one night you're out hiking with Aaron, and you see something white. No.
Aaron, is that thing hopping over there?
That just caught me so off guard. I don't know why.
All right, because I did it so deadpan that and it fooled everybody. Okay, so that actually kind of ties into what I was gonna jump into. So you're hanging out with Aaron a lot. You're doing all of his nature hikes and trails and everything you just said. Well, one day, kind of towards like a slow down period of that, you're at the tavern cooking, and all of a sudden somebody from the front goes, "Lachlan, there's a girl here to see you." And do you go up front to see who it is?
I yell. I'm like, well, who is it? Tell me who it is.
I don't know. It's just some girl. She's, I don't know, young girl. She's asking for you. And she's like, "Get him out here." So I'm like, "Get out here." I don't know what to tell you.
All right. Be there in 1 second.
All right.
Finish up what I'm doing enough to run up front.
So you delegate some stuff to the other other people in the kitchen, and you wipe your hands and you come up to the front, and you realize that the person that was talking to you was obviously the bartender, and he nods to you, and then he points over to the end of the bar, and the person is facing away from you, looking at one of the TVs that is up on the wall. And as you approach, you realize, I assumed that you would be thinking it would be Aaron. But
Yeah, that was my first question. Do I recognize it's clearly not her?
it is clearly not Aaron. And as they turn, do an investigation check before they say anything.
That is a 16 plus 1, 17.
17. You have a distinct feeling that you have met this person before, and you're pretty sure you know who it is, but you don't know how they're able to be in this bar right now. You're pretty sure it's Rascal. And the young girl looks up at you and smiles. Says, "How's it going?"
Remind me real quick. Rascal's the one that can like change, right?
Yeah, she's a doppelganger.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay,
and the
go
one
ahead.
thing is, you gotta remember, she can go. She's from Gaia, so she can go to and from Gaia from to the Nook, but she's not allowed, per Suriel, to come anywhere outside of the Nook into Earth, to hang out and see the sights and all that stuff. So she, if this is Rascal, she's basically breaking the rules.
Right.
So she's smiling at you. And then she says, "What's up, Lachlan?"
Rascal? You?
Yes.
What are you doing here?
I have a message for you from an acquaintance. And she hands you an envelope. "And I heard your burgers here are really great. Can I get one? Probably to go, just in case that,
I mean, that's fine, but does Serial know you're here?
I was gonna say, hey, because I forgot to ask her while I was talking to her through the portal. But remember, Serial is hurt, so I ask about Serial and see how he is.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Well, he did just ask. Well, he asked if Serial.
The Serial, I'm sticking with my question just initially. Serial know you're here?
No, he's still not conscious, and he's unaware that I'm here. But if
Also, there's a joke somewhere where Serial sounds like cereal, and now we've got a rabbit that we call Trix. There's a joke somewhere in there, but I don't know what it is yet. I'll figure it out.
Find it later, trust me.
I'm gonna have an aneurysm at some point. I know it. Anyway, yeah, she tells you that. She hands you a envelope, and
I immediately.
She asks for a burger.
I'm apprehensive, but I immediately open it. I'm like, well, actually, here I'll call back. I'll look at the bartender real quick, and I say, "Hey, get her the whatever burger,
the famous
and fries
East Side
and
Tavern burger."
Yeah, and look at him like, what kind of drink do you want? What do you drink there, Rascal?
Well, I'm not allowed to drink, so I guess just a pop.
I get her kind of some kind of soda there, and so then as soon as they go off and start putting that together, I open up the letter.
So in that letter, it says, "Please come to the Nook at your earliest convenience. It has something to do with your ancestors. Signed, Z."
I immediately look at I keep saying cereal. I immediately look at Rascal, and I'm like, "Do you know who Z is?"
You know. You met her. You know.
Please
where.
remind me. I have a bad memory.
Zendula.
You know Zendula?
Ah, there you go. Thank you. Better with names.
Apparently.
Oh, yeah, you have no idea. All right, well, could probably see her after my shift tonight. Is that going to be okay?
I mean, she has nowhere to go. I've never seen. Well, I didn't see the message, so I don't know what she sent you. She just told me to deliver it, and all I want is just a burger. By the
All
way,
right, I'll get you.
this pop is, I've never had pop before. This is amazing.
Good. I'm glad you're liking it. I'm gonna go back to work. We'll make sure you get that burger, and if you need anything else, you let me know, okay?
Thank you.
Go back and make sure the burger's all perfect. They already kind of started part of it, but actually walk it out to her and serve her. I want to see her take that first bite and see how much she enjoys it. Reaction to it.
It's like the classic where she just takes one bite and is just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. She tries a fry and the fries are, to her, are just like awesome. Like it's like the first time she's ever had a burger and fries. It's mostly just whatever cereal or Zandula makes in the Nook, so she doesn't, either rarely gets to have or never has had before. So she is ecstatic.
Rascal, I'm glad you're enjoying your meal. If you need anything else before you leave, you let me know, okay? I'll see you tonight.
Do I have to pay for this?
Oh no, it's on me.
Oh, sweet.
Don't you worry about it.
Hooray.
I just go back and finish my shift, and I basically go out, make sure everything's cleaned up. I'm done. I walk out. I go in the back alley. I do whatever I do with my little belt buckle.
You basically click the button or whatever on it that signals that you need to get to the Nook. All of a sudden, within... did it again. You hit the button, within moments, a portal opens up, and then you walk through it, and you appear in the familiar trappings of the Nook. And Zandula is by the control panel, and she's shutting it down, and she looks at you and says, yeah, if you want to follow me over here to the prep area, I have something to show you.
All right, let's go. Let's see what you got.
And so she takes you over to the table, the light table that shows the map of Gaia, and she says, all right, I do have to tell you this right from the start. Suriel has been looking for your ancestors because orcs aren't the friendliest or the nicest humanoids on that planet, and he had some suspicion or distrust of you because of your ancestry, but I know he's not going to like it once he finds out. From my past, I believe that anybody should know at least who their family is, so she hands you a slip of paper, and on that slip of paper is coordinates, longitude, latitude. So these are not exact coordinates, but he has dialed it down to a spot here, and she points to an area in Scotland, or what would be Scotland on Earth, but on Gaia, you have no idea what the name of it would be. And she says, it looks like there's a huge mass of tribes of orcs that look almost exactly like you. Gray skin and long tusks. It's unique, I will say that. So, like I said, I don't believe anybody should not at least have a chance to see where they came from. So, if you keep it a secret, I will not tell Suriel, and we probably won't have to worry about him complaining about what I just have done.
So I guess I'm like, he's actually worried about me being an orc.
Yes.
They're worried about my ancestors and where they came from. I mean, I feel like I'm a pretty nice guy, fairly clever bloke who doesn't.
Well, I'm not.
Does it really matter what my ancestors are to him? Like, if he finds this out, I'm going to be kicked out. Like, I guess I'm trying to understand the consequences.
That I don't know. I don't know. Suriel has his own thoughts as far as your ancestry. I don't know that much. I know orcs themselves are, like I said, not the nicest race I have encountered, but I have never been in that area of the world. I've mainly lived in this area, and she points to South America. I've never really ventured past, this continent. So as far as what he sees in you, I don't know as far as bad. So if you want to find out if there is a reason why, I'm just giving you the option to see, where you come from, or at least one half of your family, because you are half human, half orc.
Sure. Well, I appreciate you coming to me. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I take the information and I look at her and say, "Do you think I should go and try to visit these people?"
She has this immediate. It's almost like she looks into the distance, and you can just barely glimpse like sadness in her eyes. And she looks back at you and says, "If it were me, I would go, but it's up to you."
I will think on it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Again, please don't tell Suriel.
I won't. Be between you and I.
Thank you.
So I walk away and I start I don't know what to do.
So you go back through the portal, back to.
I check on all my stuff to make sure it's still there and I didn't steal it. Then I jump through the portal and I head home.
Your stuff.
I'm at the Nook. I check up all my equipment, my gear.
Who's gonna steal your stuff? You're the only one that can open the locker.
I know. It's just it's a natural thing for Irishmen to check to make sure nobody stole anything.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah.
You get back to the portal, and
You never know what's going to happen.
I guess.
But yeah.
So you
I go through the portal. I head home, and like my first reaction is to like call Ben Dane and get his thoughts on this. Like, what should I do? What is this all about?
And Ben Dane
Give him a
says,
call.
Man, that's a good question.
Thank you. So I find out quickly his advice is terrible. Yeah, I decide that I am gonna go after like spending a day or two thinking about this. Decide that I'm gonna find some time off, and
for what it's worth, Ben Dane would say go for it.
Perfect. Okay, so I decide I'm gonna go hop a plane. Figure I can go.
No.
Oh, I can't do any of this. No, I'm not allowed.
You.
Oh, because it's a different portal.
Yeah,
I have to go through a different realm. My bad. Yeah.
So
you said Scotland, so I had that in my head.
Yeah, so it would be the Scotland Highlands, but you would have to go through the portal. So Zendula, if you went back, she would be willing to open the portal for you.
Gotcha. Okay, no, I get it. Okay, all right. Well, that's the route I take then. So I go back to the Nook and I find Zendula and I say, "Listen, I've taken a lot of thought on this, but everybody seems to be encouraging me to go ahead and go and check this all out. So I decide that I'm going to go. I go into my locker and I suit up. I put on all my gear and I say, "Hey, send me there."
As you're getting ready, you see Rascal walking around with a humanoid rabbit, and Zendula's like getting you ready for the portal, and she looks over at those two and then looks up at you. And she says, "Don't ask."
I'm not going to run into that thing, am I? Where else?
That I don't know. That
Oh boy,
that is a Ben Dane thing. I don't know what is going on.
of course it is. No explanation needed.
So yeah, we're still trying to figure that out. All right, you got your token. So just if there's trouble, just hit that button, and I'll bring you back as soon as possible. And then she puts in the coordinates. The same thing happens. The bright blue opens up. Bright blue circle opens up, and then you have a portal that all you can see on the other side is just kind of this beautiful rising mountains and just long high hills as far as you can see. And then you step through and you're immediately hit with just cool breeze. It almost borders on cold Not quite enough to give you shivers, especially with your duster and your adventuring gear, I guess you could call it.
Mm-hmm.
And as you come out, it's just one of the most beautiful sights you've ever seen. Just you have mountains on your right, you have mountains on your left, and it just kind of slopes down, but then rises up again. And at least for a fact, that you have no real direction of where to go, except maybe straight ahead, because otherwise you'd be, climbing a mountain. And so you venture forth for, I would say, it feels like a few hours. And there are some forests and woods that you come across. But at this point, I will have you roll a survival check.
That is a whopping 16.
Ooh. So you're trying to look for any. It seems like these tribes that she's talking about don't want to be found. So you're looking for tracks, you're looking for signs of life, but it's getting difficult, and it's been a few more hours. And if you want to, you can roll another survival check. And after this, you'll have to, set up camp.
That'd be an 8 this time.
Oh, right. I guess we're setting up camp.
Yeah, apparently Ben got all the rolls.
Might be.
Curse you.
I mean, I did roll a 1.
That's true.
Yeah. So you set up camp for the night. It's you took some provisions with you, so you're not worried about food right now. You know how to make a fire, so you make a fire for the night. I would say late into the night, roll a perception check. You're laying down on the ground near the fire. You're nice and toasty, and you have some type of sleeping bag or tent, and you
13.
13.
13?
Yeah. Okay. And you think you hear something, and you're not quite sure. It kind of rustles you out of a deep sleep, and then you hear like the fire has gotten bigger, and it almost sounds like somebody's eating, so to speak, or something is eating.
Right.
Do you look out your tent?
Oh, yeah. In fact, I'm not even looking at my tent. I'm stepping out of my tent.
You're just gonna rip open the tent from your 6 foot, almost 7 foot tall body.
I'm not worried about what's out there. I've got a big dude. I got enough confidence. I got my axe. I'm good. I'm just stepping out, to see what's going on.
Next to the fire on the opposite side, you see that somebody had set down a small piece of log and has started eating what looks to be a rabbit that is being cooked by the fire. And this person has almost like a dark robe on, or a dark cloak on. You see them holding kind of two ends of a stick with the meat through it, and just taking bites and just staring at the fire. And then when you get up and out of the tent, they look up at you, and you notice they're, at least the basic features that you can see, is they have gray skin, they almost have similar eye colors, and they have tusks, and they look almost exactly like you, like a gray orc. And they lean their elbow or their forearms, they bring down the meat stick, and just lean onto their forearms and their knees, and they just pretty much just straight out ask you, what are you doing here?
They're standing
No, they're sitting down. They're sitting down on a small little log that they propped up
Oh,
with a stool.
okay. I get you.
Yeah,
I get you.
by the fire.
What am I doing here? Well, to be honest with you, was told to come here to try to find my ancestors, the people who family I'm a part of, the tribe I'm a part of. I don't know much about my past and how I became this creature similar to you. I don't know anything about it. It's all new to me. Come from a different dimension.
It's
And
not something that you say to a stranger.
it's not something I say to a stranger. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
No. I like to speak the truth, my friend.
What tribe do you think you come from?
I have no clue. I'll tell you that right now. I was given no guidance on which one. Simply told that I could possibly find him in this area. This is where I came.
How do I know that you're not here for war?
Well, my friend, I mean no harm. I simply have my weapons with me in case I run into some kind of beast. I really just came here peacefully. Find family.
If you do me a favor and sit down, I'll tell you a story.
Happy to do so. I always love a good story.
Stay a while and listen.
Stay, stranger, and I'll tell you a story.
What would be great right now, though, is if we started playing his guitar like really quietly in the background. The story just started going. That'd be perfect.
Might mess up the audio, but that would be cool.
It probably would, but anyway.
You know of orcs, I assume.
To some degree. I'm not going to act like I'm expert, but please go on.
Well,
perfect.
well, there was a tribe a tribe of orcs that were called the Orog. Beefier and stronger. They were, well, I'll just say it, they were better than so-called orcs that they were cousins with. And at some point, they kept on being asked to go to war. And so one day, there was a faction split. One side did not want to go and fight anymore. They wanted to just stay up here in peace. And one wanted to go conquer the world. And so there was a fight. And the tribes of the north won, knocking out the others. Told them to get off, get going. Don't ever come back. And so, we of the tribes of the north have stayed up here and defended these lands. You say if you come from these tribes up here?
That's what I'm told. I'm going off of some research that was done for my family. I'm just hoping it's accurate. I'd love to know if I am.
Well, the tribes of the north are like this. The gold eagle that pierces the veil. The stout stag always ready to push back the mighty. The iron bear that smashes the evil that lurks. And the shadowed wolf who looms in the darkness to aid when needed. Those are the tribes of the north.
Tell you what, my friend. From my own father, I received a golden eagle. It has always been very near and dear to my heart. I want to say I'm a part of that part. It sounds like that's a little bit accurate. What can you tell me about them?
The Gold Eagle tribes are up north and to the west. You'll find them, they are the cattle bears. There's no, how can I say it? It's not a worthless job. It is an important job to herd and shepherd. And they commune with the gold eagles, the giant eagles that perch on the mountains. They have 5 leaders, and most of them are fighters and rangers, and they prefer to get up close and fight. It's strange that you come into these woods. This is the Shadowed Wolf. We are the Shadowed Wolf. And you start to hear howling, and you realize that there are more than just him there. And he goes back to saying, we are all part of the same tribe, but we devote ourselves to different things. So I will take you to the Gold Eagles. Whether they accept you is up to them or not.
I thank you for your hospitality. Would greatly appreciate if you took me.
Don't thank me yet. If you fail the test, you might die.
We'll take that risk.
We'll get some sleep, giant orc. We venture out in the morning.
Hey.
And you get a decent amount of sleep. And when you wake up, you break down your camp. And there is, well, now that you see him in his full size and frame, he is extremely shorter than you. So whatever intimidation that he thought he was giving you was straight out the window. You tower over him. He's like barely 6 feet tall. And he wears a sort of cloak in the shape of a wolf. and you can see that he carries what looks to be kind of like curved swords or curved long daggers.
Mhm.
And so he tells you, he points in the direction of where you're going, and he basically tells you to follow him. And then he leads you up to which again seems like a few hours, but it seems easier. Like he's running at a decent pace, and you're able to keep up with him. But it's just like going through these steps, you could see how somebody might get lost, how it'd be difficult for somebody to find these tribes of the north, just because of the hills and the mountains and all the forests. It just makes it extremely difficult. And eventually you come to just this kind of hill that goes down into this massive lake, and then he stops and tells you that he can't go any further. It's kind of a custom that that you need to go alone, and that most of the shadowed wolf tribe, they don't like to make their presence known. I mean, they aren't introverted, so to speak. They don't. They're willing to assist the other tribes, but they prefer their stealth and cunning and to hide. And so he tells you direction to go. He tells you just to go either through the lake or take the one side around, and just over the hill you should see a massive herd of what he calls aurochs, and he describes them as just like giant longhorn cows, basically. Or what you, the way he describes them to you, it sounds like giant longhorn cows.
Mm-hmm.
And so you head that direction.
Before he leaves,
Sure.
I thank him. I say, can you tell me your name before you leave?
Dang it, I hate you. I hate you so much. That's what you get.
Next time I go to Yale's house, he's just gonna have like 1,000 names printed on the wall behind his.
Great.
I don't even know.
You don't even have to come up with one. I'm gonna ask it. He gives it to me, and then I shake his hand like
he calls himself Ogrel.
a girl.
Okay. Oh, great! How am I supposed to spell that, Yale?
Well, you're gonna mess it up anyway, so who cares?
That's fair.
So his name is Ogre. Okay. So grab his arm, like you know how you see guys like
yeah, the classic warrior.
the warrior grab
shake,
where you grab his forearm.
Yeah.
I do that, and it's natural for both of us, and I thank him, and then I.
It's natural.
Well, I just mean like it's.
Sure, you do.
He's not looking at me like, okay, what the heck you doing? Like this is just the way orcs would.
Yeah.
Greet each other.
Grasp it tightly.
And then what were you saying? I went over the hill or something?
Yes. So you do you swim the lake, or do you just go around?
Oh, good Lord. No, I just go around.
Okay. So about another hour goes by, and you get over this hill, and yeah, like he said, it's just this open, my microphone. It's like just this open field, low grass, and just a massive herd of these aurochs standing there grazing, but you can't really see through them. It's just such a massive herd, and like that you have really no choice but to kind of wade through these beasts to try and find who's ever shepherding them. And so you start doing that, and as you get closer to the center, you roll a perception check.
Is not great. 9.
And I really did see all the good rolls, didn't I?
Seriously.
Well, you're in luck. I rolled low. So you just hear somebody approaching from all the kind of the grunts of the aurochs, to your side, and you see this very tall, I would say he looks older. Well, obviously he looks older. He's got kind of a white hair in a man bun, and he's got these flaring sideburns and really long tusks, and he's got this really heavy looking staff, and he's just about to like jump up and lunge at you and like bring the staff down on your head.
And I go, "Daddy!" and I start running after him. My arms wide open. No.
Seriously?
No. So I see him. How far is he? I mean, he's coming down at me, so he's right next to me.
Well, that's what his intent is. So he's like crouched, about to like lunge at you as you turn to face him. It looks like he isn't stopping. Like he doesn't care what you look like, who you are. He's about to just attack you here.
I barrel roll out of the way.
Do an athletics check. No, dexterity check.
Would that be a saving throw? Because he's being attacked?
He's about to be attacked. So,
It's an 18.
18. So you roll out of the way just as this old man begins to lunge at you, and he brings his staff down, and he hits the ground. He goes, "Ah!"
Jump up and say, "Stop! I mean you no harm."
And how do I believe that?
Because I don't have my weapon drawn.
Yeah, likely.
Oh, it's a true story. Now, calm it down. I just want to talk.
Oh, what do you want? You want my aurochs? Well, you're not gonna get them.
Oh, goodness, my friend. No. It's not what I'm looking for at all. Actually, be perfectly honest, I've been told this is possibly my ancestral tribe here. I'm trying to understand if this is where I'm from and something about my past.
Oh, and how do I just take your word for it, youngin'?
No, not at all. I spoke to a man down in the valley from the Shadow Wolf tribe. And he mentioned the different tribes and talked about the golden eagle, and that was something my father gave me. Always remembered, and I've cherished it. The golden eagle that he gave me, and I just felt like that was maybe where my calling was, who I was a part of. So I've come here to see if anybody knows of my family, or if this is possibly who I'm from.
As you say all of that, as you're almost finishing all of what you said, he looks like he's kind of hunched over, like he's not showing his full height. And as you say that, he goes fully, just like, he straightens his back, he firmly puts the staff vertical, and you can see just the height of this man is like he's practically as tall as you, and he just looks you up and down and finally says, "Well, you're going to help me bring in this herd, and then we're going to see if you're lying to me." And
I'm happy to help. You just got to tell me what to do.
so he directs you on herding these aurochs, and then he whistles, and a couple more orcs pop out of, different spots, and then all of a sudden you just all combine your forces into herding this, this cattle, and it takes a good few hours. At that point, it's about afternoon, and you bring them to this huge pen, and you start filling them in. And next to that pen is you've seen them in, or Lachlan's seen them in books and TV and movies and all that stuff. This big, it almost looks like a Viking long hut, just a very long building, but short to the ground. and you can see smoke rising from the top of the top of the roof in different sections. You can see some orcs on either side of the building talking and laughing. And as you finish getting all the herd into the giant fence pen, you follow the old man into this hut, and a few of what you can tell were younger orcs following in behind you, not as like guards, suspicious of you. They were just like they're helping that old man with the herd, and then they're all talking about getting drinks and anything like that. And so you enter this hut. So it's like this intricate, just all wood, intricate doors that are slightly open, and you got these two big doors, and you have all this kind of writing on it and different symbols, and you can see on there, four distinct symbols. An eagle, a wolf, a bear, and a stag, and they all go in, and the man kind of grabs your arm, like right where your shoulder kind of meets your neck, right at the collarbone, and he lets the young, like he basically telling you to wait, and the young orcs go in, and he looks over at you and he says, "You're going straight ahead. I'm going to follow you, and there's going to be a test, and then we'll see. All right?"
And what sort of test is this?
We just have
What
Mostly
does it
true,
mean?
false, but there's also some multiple choice.
As long as there's not an essay, I'll be okay.
I don't know what an essay is, but we'll see. He gently pushes you forward, and then he follows you in. And then once you get to, when you go in, on every side is like tables. It's just, it's not one long table, but it's multiple tables on either side. In the middle, you have to kind of veer off to the left or right, because in the middle there's these fire pits that just are constantly going. And you can smell just all this like a fireplace wood smell, and this just like wonderful aroma of just different stews and meats and anything cooking. And you see just all these orcs being jocular and laughing and talking, and some kind of going a little bit too far and just fighting a little bit. And you see some people being served, some servers going back and forth, and then towards the front you see these kind of like this, like the old man. There's these older orcs that they have their own table at the very end, and they are speaking to each other, just whatever it is, reminiscing or whatever they're talking about. And then you get to that point just before that table, and he brings his staff down a couple times to get their attention, and he announces that you say you're looking for your tribe, you're looking for your ancestors, and that you need to be tested to see if you're truly who you say you are, and pretty much, yeah. And as he's saying that, you see this very old orc approach you, and you can tell as they get closer it's a very old woman orc, and everybody goes immediately silent. They started to quiet down when he started slamming his staff down, and then she raised her hands to kind of quiet everybody down. And then she looks in your eyes. She kind of like grabs you by the back of the head, but not forcefully, but just kind of like to get you to get down to her level, because she's very, like, her back is not straight anymore. She's using a cane, and she brings you kind of to her level, and she just stares at you for a brief moment in your eyes, and it's as if that she's like looking it feels like she's looking into your soul. But the problem is you can tell in her eyes that she's kind of got these cataract eyes where you can tell she can't see anything. But it almost feels like she's seeing straight through, like straight into your soul. And she announces that they will have a test. And then after a few moments, they set up this kind of rug on the floor. And they ask you to sit down. And then there's kind of like this incense bowl. And they set it up and fill it up. And then they light it up. And it starts to smoke, starts to trail up. And she, with help, sits down opposite you of that incense bowl. And she has this kind of raspy but calming voice, even for everybody talking like, if you fail this test, you're going to die. She has this calming voice. And every time she's telling you an instruction, she's just like, it's like this gentle, almost like motherly, all right, just go ahead and do this. And she eventually tells you to lean into the incense smoke. And do you do that?
Yeah.
So as you do that, you eventually feel her hand, like you take your hand off, obviously, to be polite, and she puts it on your head, her hand on your head, and you can feel the wrinkles of her hands, the age, and then it's as if like you start to see glimpses of lives that you've never lived. And if you want, roll a wisdom check.
Roll a Constitution saving throw for the peyote you just smoked.
I knew a joke was coming.
Here comes the vomit. 15. 15. You said wisdom saving throw? Is that basically what you said?
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
Just a wisdom throw. 15. Okay. So, in your head, you're thinking that somehow she is reaching into, like, you don't know how she's doing it, but she's reaching into your past, and you're seeing glimpses of what your ancestors have done. You know, just brief moments here and there. And one
I'm not seeing myself. I'm not seeing images I remember, but I'm seeing...
You're seeing a first-person view, but you're seeing places that you've never seen before. And you're seeing creatures, you know, like at some point you see somebody fighting an owlbear, and then somebody...
A world full of white rabbits.
Looking out into...
A white rabbit fighting an owlbear. All I have to say, lady, is this peyote is amazing. All right, sorry, go on.
But you see these images that you in your life have never seen before, and one of them sticks out. It clings for a moment, and it's as if that this is like somebody important, and this person is talking to an older, not like a middle-aged, I guess, would seem orc, and they're kind of arguing, but then, you know, it's as if they're letting them go, and then you see just like quick glimpses of this orc going on a journey, and then at some point you think you see a portal, and then in another moment you're positive you saw humans, but it's just all these quick glimpses. And then she finally takes her hand off your forehead, and she moves her hand to your chin and has you look up at her, and it's just like her cloak is down, and you see just the wrinkles in her face, but you can barely make out in those wrinkles that almost hide the scars that she has on her face, on her hands. And she just smiles at you and says, Someday I will tell you, if I'm still alive, about these scars that I have. But you can't tell anybody about where you come from. But I know where you come from. Do you understand?
No. But I won't say anything. I don't know. What did I just see? You tell me more.
I need some time to rest. We'll have to come back to that. For now, and then she raises her voice, this man has been tested and proven to be part of the Gold Eagles. And then with a beat, everybody just gives a resounding either round of applause or cheers, and you see people just drinking. And then
No. All the orcs would take their staffs or whatever they have and just start hitting the ground with it as if they're clapping with that.
sure, that too.
Oh, that is what they're doing. Not sure.
Okay.
It's very natural for them to do that, yeah.
Okay. I guess you would know.
Yes.
And then you can see that she is kind of weary, but she gives you a signal that you can stand up, and so you stand up and you put your hat back on, and then the old orc that brought you into the longhouse gives you a pat on the back and says, "I'll get you an ale, and then I will tell you about your ancestors."
Thank you. Great.
And so
Use an ale.
So everybody's kind of shaking your hand, welcoming you to the tribes of the north, and then you sit down with this old man, and he tells you similar stuff to what the shadowed wolf gentleman told you, but he tells you that so the two factions is more than just that. The tribes of the north also have this kind of desire to so instead of conquering, they chose to turn this kind of desire into branching out and going forth into like pioneering and adventuring and exploring, hoping that eventually, these young orcs would come back and live on the steppes of, the highlands. And that's what his ancestors did. The gold eagles are more, the shadowed wolves like to stay to themselves, but when are needed, they are there. The stags and the bears kind of do their own thing. But it's the gold eagles that prefer to venture out and explore and learn and grow. And if they decide to come back, then they do, but others would, they would just not come back. And they would just, hope and pray that they would find whatever it is they were seeking. And he says that the gold eagles revere the gold eagles that live on the mountaintops, but they're not just, little gold eagles. They're actually giant golden eagles that you could, if you wanted to, you could ride on. They don't really like you to, but there's a possibility. But they each tribe learned from their kind of guide, their spirit guide, and the golden eagles and the wolves and all them, like they each were taught different ways from those spirit guides, and so that's where they learn their abilities and their how to fight in their own ways. And so he says that if you want to stay a while, he can teach you his ways and how, because he is a golden eagle from the golden eagle tribe, and that he would teach you and he would help you try to trace back your actual ancestors if he can, and possibly with the help of the older woman. She's more of a seer, or a I guess oracle would be a good term too, or a druid. And that's what he kind of tells you. He tells you just kind of this whole lineage and backstory of how you came to be. Like all these tribes of Orog are much tougher and stronger than the other orcs, but they were always used by other creatures and nations and whatever as like almost mercenaries. And then they eventually just got tired of it. And the others were like, well, we're not tired of it, but we are tired of it, but we want to conquer them. We're going to find a way to conquer them. And then the North tribes were just like, no, they're going to leave us alone. We're going to leave them alone, or else, we'll just stop them in their tracks from getting into, our territory. And so you at least know that you come from a more peaceful tribes of orcs versus the other tribes. So I don't know if that gives you a little more ease to your mind and your soul, with the whole rage, but he tells you that like that's a part of their certain warriors, that's a part of their battle, their combat skills and abilities. They use that to augment their fighting prowess. And so he reminds you that that's nothing to be worried about. You just have to figure out how to harness it yourself. Which, being with Aaron and going out and, that becomes kind of a part of it, is learning how to control, and focus your rage, really.
Great. Nice.
What
do I do next? I mean, I'd like to stick around for a little bit. I want them to keep teaching me.
Yeah, that's all I have, and so I just figured this is another stepping stone of learning more abilities. And he says eventually he'll take you up to the mountains when they grant. They always wait for the golden eagles to grant them access to kind of commune and talk with. And so he says you can stay a while and learn, and whenever there's time, which will probably be in the future, that he'll take you up and see the eagles, and they'll work on figuring out your ancestors.
Okay, so basically I've established that I can come back and learn more.
Yeah, you have a fixed point of where these tribes are, and yeah, you can come back. Only a few people know. I mean, the Shadowed Wolf and the old woman, or I guess the old man kind of knows. So like 3 people know that you're from another world, but you're really.
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is that in order to go back, I would move out into the woods or somewhere, and they wouldn't be able to see me, summon a portal to get back home.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Then as soon as I get back, I would find Rascal and just be like, or Dula, either one, just be like, hey, can you hit this pinpoint location that I just came from, and so I can go back to that exact spot in the future.
Zendula, since she's kind of taken charge of that whole thing, she agrees. She writes down the information, but keeps it kind of hidden so that Suriel doesn't find out. And she just says, come to me. That way I can make sure that we send you over there, or I send you over there, and Suriel won't be the wiser.
Well, I tell her everything they told me, especially about coming from a more peaceful group and all this other stuff. And I ask her, like, hey, would this be something that maybe he could accept more, that it wouldn't be something we have to keep secret?
I'll have to find a way to bring it up to him. He can be kind of stubborn, but I think he'll come around when we are able to show him the evidence and let him see for himself. It's quite impressive. Even he was having trouble finding these tribes. They definitely have a way of hiding themselves. So, all right. Yeah, we'll just have to figure out how to break the news to Suriel.
Sounds good. I'm heading home. Good rest of the night.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Come on.
And then Rascal.
You can say it like me.
Rascal pops out of the corner. Bye.
Proof I'm gone.
So we got at least 3 things, or I got 1 thing that I have, and then you wanted to deal with 2 other things. So let's go over. We went through the level ups pretty quick because there's really isn't anything major, with the exception of you, which you wanted to do that dragon mark.
Yeah.
So
That was the...
Yeah, so I will allow that because I found a plot device for that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I wrote that info down. So that's a part of your past too. And
Did we write down what the aberrant flaw was?
I wrote down mood swings or something.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, wait, let me double.
Just because there's a flaw table, and I was like, I think we rolled on it.
Let me double check that. Looking at the table, yeah, you have mood swings anytime you use your mark.
Yeah.
That is what you ruled, and that is what I wrote down.
I think it would have been probably more narratively useful to you to have the mark whispers to you. The meaning can be unclear.
But that would just be extra stuff that I would have to do.
Right. Extra stuff to track.
Yeah, well, I mean, even the mood swing is kind of something to track too. Just kind of, I should probably just create a D6 table or something.
Yeah. I'd imagine probably instead of it being like, well, these are only like, I can use them once per short rest. But if I like use, say, like the firebolt or something, like in a extremely low stress environment, probably doesn't do much. But like in combat, maybe. Like if I'm using it in a time of like, okay, I really need to use this since it's,
Right, yeah. So
that way I don't have to remember it every... Because the firebolt's just the cantrip you get, which is kind of nice. But the actual spell I picked was Magic Missile. I can only use that once per short rest.
Well, I mean, it's pretty. It could always just be a minor mood swing.
Yeah. Like become more morose or become snappier, depending. I don't know. Just something for me to like play around with, I guess, as we get to it.
Yeah. But I'm good with that. If you're good with that.
Works for me.
Okay, so then that's that. Your spark would be next. Did you want to save it or use it? I will.
I'm gonna hold it.
Okay.
For the time of the intermission, I'm gonna hold on to it.
Okay.
Just because
Jeremy,
I haven't decided.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit and bog things down by deciding that right then and there. So give it some thought. And if I want to save it, I will. And if not, I'll use it at the height of the next. I'll just make a note.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you got time to hold on to it and spend it whenever. So yeah, Jeremy held on to his, and then Nathan held on to his as well.
+1 to the Allspark. We're gonna make the Transformers here soon.
Zordon.
If we keep up our campy antics, we'll eventually become the Power Rangers.
Okay, so the last two is something that I thought of, and then you said you wanted to check on Suriel. Now, was there anything that, other than those two things, that you wanted to do besides that?
Let's see. Given some thought to my financial situation has to be deteriorating.
Correct.
So maybe find a solution for that. Yeah, maybe with my new ventures, maybe getting into like a design thing, something that's like more long form, so that I don't have to show up to a job every day, because I'll be, on other worlds, and they'll be like, "Yo, you didn't show up for your 9 to 5."
Right.
That would that wouldn't be great. But yeah, maybe something I can actually start putting my talents back into one of the businesses. 'Cause I'd left the company.
So you thinking like a freelance type of thing? So you would design freelance for other companies?
Yeah, because at first I was just like noodling some art together and then trying to sell that. But yeah, maybe step up to actually working with some companies and stuff.
Okay. I would
Maybe
say go ahead.
architecture firms. That seems like a plan.
What is it?
Architecture?
Oh, architecture. Okay. Yeah.
Definitely don't have a license in that, but just like knocking together some basic designs. I've always had an interest in architecture myself.
Let's see. So with your contacts, I would say with Trenton and Evan, I'll give you roll a d20 with advantage and add your charisma, which I think is your highest stat.
Ooh, oh boy. Okay. That's not great. That's a 10. I rolled a 5. That was with advantage. I rolled a 5 and a 3.
Oof.
Poor rolls starting out today.
Oh, mine were awful yesterday. So I will say that you get some contacts from at least Trenton is looking for certain designs for some real estate firms and things like that. And then Evan shoots out some feelers to some contacts he has in design firms and architecture, along the lines of architecture, and you get a few contracts. It's not a whole lot to ease your mind, but it's enough that it's gonna help you break even for the next couple months at least. So you'll at least have enough money. I mean, it's not going to get you to where you're building profit yet. So you are making you're making the money flow kind of, or the money drop, I should say, slow down. So
this feels realistic to me because, like, not having any experience with architecture and stuff. Like, yeah, here I am, just like I'm gonna suddenly start doing those design jobs, and they're like, "Yeah, hang on."
Yes,
so this feels right to me.
Yeah. So there's a few companies that at least give you a break, and you start the way you are, researching. Go ahead and roll a, what would it be? Not investigation. I guess just an intelligence roll to see if you can familiarize yourself with the different parts, architecture and design of what they're focusing on, so you can kind of get that down in the fastest way possible.
Maybe I should have gone with video game architecture. Yeah, that's a plus zip. Oh, it's a 16 though.
16?
Plus nothing.
But still.
That was just a lucky roll.
It doesn't take you very long. I mean, if you got a 20, you'd be like, oh, you get it in no time. You're in desperate mode. This is like, you're in desperate mode. You're struggling a little bit, but you're getting it. You're understanding. You're refocusing your brain on what these companies want and need and what they're looking for, and that's how that 10 will work, is that you at least show promise, and so that's why you got the hooks, the contracts that you have, because you're able, like, they can see you're able to learn, that you're able to adapt and design. So you at least have these contracts, and that is where you're at right now, just designing, learning on the fly, and you're a little less worried than what you were.
Okay. I guess in the interim, while I'm waiting on the emails and like doing the collaboration back and forth, I guess I will be checking in on Soriel.
Okay. Let's do this one real quick. So mine was, there is a Chicago street art festival happening downtown Chicago. And you figured, hey, I mean, spend a little money, you make a little money. Maybe you'll get some more buzz that way. So on top of the contracts that you're getting, you figured you might as well set up a booth. And so you get that all figured out. Trenton helps you get established and all that. And go ahead and roll a... I guess charisma, because you're at the booth, you're trying to invite people in, you're trying to get people to look at your art and get intrigued and actually buy. So, again, with your brother's help, and I'm kind of, I'm giving you more help, go ahead and roll again.
I don't think I necessarily need it on my... but, yeah.
I mean, it's your brother.
Because I got a 24 on the first roll and a 22 on the second, so... Yeah, 24.
So you get all...
I rolled a 19 and a 17.
Dang. So you get a huge crowd. People have never seen... Like, they've seen fantasy stuff, but yours just pops out to them. It almost looks like you have been somewhere where it feels realistic. The way you design everything and draw everything, and you get a huge amount of flow and people actually buying your stuff. And viewers out there, audience, we love you, but we will say, he gets a lot of nerds, but there's no shame in that. Everybody's a nerd. And you get a lot of other people that, like, not the otakus, but are just kind of normal people that just decide to go, but they love your stuff. And like, people are like, oh, it's Chicago, it's downtown, it's art, might as well go. It's those people, and you get just buzz from everybody. Let's see. Man, my rolls are garbage. It doesn't seem like you see any, what's the word I'm looking for? Corporate types that are looking at your stuff, like, the outliers that you don't recognize anybody famous, like any like you said, video game people, or anybody that you've seen in design. You don't really see anybody down there, but you get a lot of just the normal people coming in, crowding in, seeing your stuff, and just you practically sell out of your stuff in like the first couple of days. So you only have a few things left, and on one of the last few days, you notice that somebody just what
Happened?
Oh, okay. You started laughing. I didn't know why.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Total silence.
That's weird.
Oh man, this is it. You're gone. Starting to hear things.
Okay. And on one of the last few days, or we'll just say the last day of the festival, you noticed this, I would say, cute girl just browsing, whatever you have left. You've seen her there a few days before, and she's just kind of hanging out and it's getting close to like like closing time or whatever you would call like the festival's closing down, and she finally comes up and asks if she could buy something from you, and you almost get the distinct feeling that you recognize her, but you're not sure. If you want to, you can roll, I don't know, either perception or insight.
Yes. Sure, insight. But I'll also just straight up ask, have I seen you somewhere before?
I was here a few days ago, and you might have seen me somewhere else.
Maybe similar circles.
In a way, yeah.
Huh. Well, I'm Tristan. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. My name is Evie.
What do you do round here?
Oh, I do some. Well, I don't really live in the neighborhood. I kind of and I kind of do some scouting here and there. Yeah. It's me. It's Rascal. I don't know. I couldn't hide it. Sorry.
It's Rascal.
Well, I just I kind of asked Sandula if I could get away for a little bit, and she usually doesn't mind. So I just kind of came over. Actually, wasn't. I found out about this place from Lachlan's restaurant. They had a bunch of posters up everywhere, so I figured maybe I could just sneak out. Yeah, I really like your stuff.
Oh, well, thanks. I don't know. This is a new-ish venture for me. Architecture is it's a passion. It's an interest. But yeah, this is something I just decided to sort of dip my toes into the water on.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I really like it. I'm kind of getting hungry. Do you know any good restaurants around here?
Yeah, there's a good couple pizza shops and
Ooh, I haven't had pizza. Do you mind showing me? Do you still have? Are you about to close up or?
oh yeah, no, I can yeah, I can close this up. I think you were the last one for the day anyway.
Okay. She pays you for just kind of something small. I don't know what. Just a small art piece. Like
One of the postcard type prints.
Yeah, like sort of a sticker or something like that. And then she just kind of waits for you to close up, and then you take her to a pretty decent pizza place.
I mean, Uno's is always good if you're in Chicago, so.
Right, yeah. The Chicago deep dish.
Yeah.
So you go down to a place down on 5th Street, and as you are just walking and talking with Rascal, you come around the corner, and there's just kind of this a little crunchy, a little grungy homeless guy, and he turns and looks at the both of you, and his eyes just go wide, and he just goes like crazy, and he just starts like swinging. So
Whoa!
I'm still rolling terrible, so he swings and misses you. He's like aiming at the both of you, and he's just like, monsters, you get away from me, get off my street.
I'm gonna I'm gonna attempt to just like grab him and calm him down, like grab him by the shoulders and be like, whoa, what's going on? Just take a breath.
Alright, roll I guess it would be a grapple, so strength.
Oh, this can't be good.
Probably better.
Well, 13.
Yeah. He may look strong, but At this point, he isn't. So you're able to kind of through the windmill swing of his fists and everything. You're able to grab his shoulders and just kind of tuck him into his sides, and he basically just hey, calm down. They're like, no, I can see right through you, the both of you. You're some type of weird. I don't know. You look like a fox, and her, I don't even know what she is, but I see through your disguises. You're all aliens or something. I don't know what you are.
I'm just gonna like do the nervous chuckle. Like, are you feeling okay? Look, here's some money for you, sir. Maybe just get some food and maybe a nice a nice rest will do you well.
How much do you give him?
I'm gonna give him probably about $50.
Okay.
I made plenty from the thing, so
right. You're able to like hold his arm, put some money into his hand, and he looks down at the money. He looks up at you, but he's still got that kind of like squinty eyed, like I don't trust you. And he looks down at the money again. He looks back at you. And he goes, "I'll let you off this time, aliens, but I'm gonna keep my eye on you if you're ever on my street again." And he walks over to his pile of stuff, and he just kind of picks it up like a backpack and some odds and ends bags, and just grabs them all up and says, "I'm gonna eat well tonight. Thank you again, alien, but I'm still gonna watch you." And he just kind of scurries off.
Oh, hang on, I didn't get your name.
I didn't give it. He just jaywalks all the way. He just runs right across the street.
The cars flying by.
Yeah. Thankfully, he doesn't get hit. He just kind of somehow dodges traffic and just scurries off.
And good thing you didn't roll for that. He would have gone flying.
That is true. Probably not. Well, if I was rolling for him, he probably would have gotten hit.
Exactly.
If I rolled against him, he probably would have been fine. I'm rolling terrible. So you you both, Rascal kind of like took a couple of steps back, and then she finally, like, after watching all this, and she walks up beside you, just watching this guy just scurry off across the street, and she goes, "That was weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was certainly something. How could he see us?"
Well, it's possible. I mean, you didn't realize that you were from a different world. It's possible he somehow was able to connect to some ability. Then again, he just could be insane. I don't know.
I wonder if...
Oddly specific, though.
Yeah?
How about we just get some pizza and forget it?
Yeah. I'm just gonna file this away. I have some theories.
Oh, yeah?
But I'll file this away.
So you two go to your pizza place. You have some slices. You talk back and forth about just different stuff, life, and just things in general, hobbies and interests and all that. And then she basically tells you that she's got to get back to the Nook because it's getting late. And at some point, Zandula's going to be like, "Okay, you got to get back." So she tells you she had a great time. She's impressed about, just you being so, not proactive, just, she's just impressed by your art and your drive to just get out there. And tells you goodbye and that she'll see you later, unless you wanted to say anything else.
No, I think in this, just say my farewells and then kind of like quiet contemplation on the way back.
Okay.
Just kind of mulling the
Crazy
crazed
guy.
man over. Yeah.
Okay. And then we can go ahead and shift over to Suriel. So you take a day or two in between your contracts, getting your, like you said, your emails, and you decide to head over to the Nook. So you click on your bracelet, and you hear the same usual vibration and tone, and then all of a sudden the portal opens up in your, oh my gosh, I can't think right now, your penthouse, and you walk through, and there's Zendula at the controls. It just so happens as you walk through, you see Zendula. She kind of gives you a nod, and then she's about to shut down the portal. As she's doing that, you look around, you see Rascal, and this is probably a few days after the festival, and you see Rascal, and what you can only wrap your head around, if you can, of a humanoid rabbit. And they're both over at the light table where the map is and where you do your pre-mission info breakdown, your briefs. And they're just looking at the map and trying to like pointing, and Rascal looks up and waves to you, and the rabbit kind of looks up. Now, do you still have your token on?
Yeah.
Okay, so you still look like Tristan. Well,
Yeah.
Human Tristan, okay. And she looks up at you and looks back down, and she kind of looks like, not like a deer in headlights, she looks like a curious kid, just looking at the map and just fascinated by all the different things that she is seeing. And then the portal closes and Dula walks up and she says, "How's it going? What, did you need something?"
No, it's just, just kind of, I don't know, checking in, seeing how things are going. Who's that?
Oh, that. We're still trying to figure that out. Ben Dane found her in the woods. That's a whole ordeal that you'll have to talk to him about if you haven't already. And we're trying to, he calls her Thumper for some reason, I don't know why. But we're trying to figure out where she's from. Other than that, she somehow got here from Gaia. That's about it. And, I mean, I guess I'm good. Rascal's good. She's spending way too much time sneaking out, but not really going to stop her. And Suriel is still recovering. He's in his room if you want to go see him. I don't know if he's awake yet.
Yeah, yeah. I just kind of like wander off to the side.
While you're staring at the rabbit.
Yeah.
Just like, what is happening?
I'm gonna actually go to the rabbit first.
Okay. Rascal, they notice you walk up, and Rascal and they're kind of bent over looking at the map, and then they kind of straighten their backs. And Rascal says, "Hey, oh, right, rabbit. So we're still trying to figure out her name. Ben Dane gave her the name Thumper, so I don't know why, but
she doesn't speak.
Oh, she speaks. Real quick, do you have your Babel device in your ear?
Yeah. I take it out of my pocket and then kind of like.
So you hear Rascal's trying to introduce you to her, and she goes, "Oh, this is Tristan," and you hear two distinct languages. So you hear, the English that you can hear, understand, and then just this other language that I don't think you would know. and she says, "Hello, nice to meet you."
Yeah, you as well. I'm sorry, where did you come from? I guess I'll have to get that story from Dane.
I come from Island. I come from Island. Island on ocean.
Yeah, that's typically where islands go.
I can't. I talked to I talked to Ben Dane. He helped me. I come through.
See, that's
I come through. Gate in air. He said Stargate. I don't know what Stargate is.
Yeah, I'm sorry you had to deal with Ben Dane. That's a shame. But yeah. I just I don't know. I haven't seen too many creatures like yourself.
There are
apart
many.
from
Where I come from, there are many.
Are there?
Lion, bear, rabbit, cats, many cats. Yeah, lots of people like us.
Foxes?
Foxes? No, not for a while. Foxes go away. And then she looks at the map, and she doesn't know how to best describe it, but then she points in a direction. So it looks like she's pointing east. So she says, it looks like they kind of pinpointed where she might be, but she also describes other lands near her island, and that she basically says east. They go east.
East.
Yes.
How long ago?
Long time. We chart time with moons, so quite a few moons ago.
Huh. Interesting. Anybody else go with them?
No, only Fox Tribe go. They what is the word? Shunned? What is word? Not allowed back. They their power was too much, so we asked them to leave.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, my ancestors. So not me. My ancestors told them to leave.
Right. You know. Okay. Bummer. Because while I'm standing there in human form, I am, of course, processing this on the other side. I'm glad I didn't approach in my fox form.
Right. Right. I was interested in which way you would take that. Okay. She just told you that, and your process.
Foxes were shunned.
Yeah, the foxes were shunned. At this point, what is your what do you do? You just kind of leave it at that and go see Suriel, or
I guess Lask, can we make a note of where this is? Because I'd like to go. I'd like to put that in. I just have to of course I pull Rascal aside for this. Because I don't do this right in front of the so given the circumstance, maybe I can try and find a way to go there without looking like a fox. Just keep the token on and check this place out sometime. Not now.
Oh, we still got to figure out. We still haven't figured out where she's from.
I mean, when we do find it, I thought you guys were yeah, it's island here. Maybe not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she keeps saying that it's very broken. She's trying to, she's on a different world in a different dimension, so we need to figure out all that. So it's kind of broken, but I think we're getting close. But I don't think that would be a problem. I know, well, Lachlan just went to the other dimension on his own, and hopefully he'll be back soon. I don't see why not.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, when we kind of figure out where this is, I guess just let me know.
Yeah. We'll definitely let you know. Well, we might have to keep it. I know Suriel gets kind of stubborn about things, so we might have to just. Well, Rabbit is kind of out of the hat.
Yeah, I think.
So, but at least we can just figure out what to do at some. We'll figure it out.
I'm sure Suriel will be fine.
Well, I mean, everything just getting more and more crazy, so he might have to be.
I think we've gone beyond crazy. I've learned that a long time ago. Well, I guess I'll check on Suriel and then be on my way.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Yep. Keep up the good work.
Okay. And you leave Rascal with the rabbit, and you go into the facilities, and trying to be polite, you knock on the door, and you don't hear an answer, and you knock one more time, and you figured, okay, well, might as well just kind of walk in.
Yes, because that's why I'm just gonna open the door and just barge in.
You just kind of crack it open and be like, "Hey, hello, are you awake?" And you don't hear an answer. It's a little dark in there, and it's very, I guess, plain. You got your bed, you got your end table dresser, but it's just nothing outstanding about the room. It's just very bare and simple, and you just kind of see Suriel tucked in, and just it looks like he's sleeping.
So just like how do I want to handle this? I walk into his room, he's asleep. I'm just gonna be like, "Yo, man, what's happening?"
Yeah, I kind of didn't think of this. Okay, here we go. Zendula is standing behind you. She kind of leans into your ear and goes, "What are you doing?"
Well, maybe we shouldn't have this discussion standing in his room.
No, if you just want to see him, he's not fully conscious yet. I think he's just recovering. He could hear you if you want to talk to him, but if you want,
he's. I don't know if you've paid much attention. He's been out of it, down.
I
should know.
Else we can do.
Well, has anybody tried talking to him?
We talk to him all the time, just waiting for him to wake up. But there's nothing else we can do. I bring him some food and water. You do realize why he's unconscious, right? We did tell you he exerted a lot of his energy just to help you guys with one of those demons or whatever, and he restricts his own abilities so that he can help preservers fight. So he hurt himself by helping you guys. So he's not on death's door, but he's going to need a little bit of time.
I'm sure. Is there some kind of? I have some magics. I could see if I could heal him.
He's an angel. He can heal on his own. He just needs some time. He should be up and moving a little bit. It's just if you want to know more, you'd have to ask him. He doesn't really divulge his personal information with me. You would have to ask him why he restricts his powers and all that, why he does what he does.
Well, I guess I should wait for him to get better. I wouldn't want someone to barge in and bug me while I'm lying around.
Okay.
What if I gave up my spark?
No. He wants you all to develop your powers to better defend, this dimension, this world. That's what he wants. He doesn't mind sacrificing for the greater good. That's at least something I know of him. So, just keep the spark. I know he'll be back up in no time. It's just he needs a little bit of time. It's gonna be all right. He's gonna be fine. I'll tell you this, he's much more powerful than I am. And if you haven't realized what I am, yeah, I have quite immense magic ability, and he is far stronger than I am.
All right, then.
So you heading back? I can open the portal for you.
Yeah, I suppose so.
And so you kind of gently close the door, and you head to the door that separates, the rooms from the Nook's portal room / I don't know what you would call it, just like the big main room. You open that, and Zindula just follows you. Then you head over to the portal device, and she heads to the control panel, and then she starts to plot coordinates, and it revs up, and you just see it slowly form this blue sphere. Then as it opens up further, you just kind of see this strange 2D portal that you've seen before with the blue outline, and then you see a familiar site on the other side, which is your penthouse, and Sandula just kind of nods in recognition, I guess would be the word.
Farewell.
Yeah, just see you later type of nod. And you look over at Rascal, and Rascal looks up and waves to you, and the rabbit kind of does the same thing because she's kind of like mimicking Rascal a little bit. And do you step through the portal?
Yeah, I wave back and then kind of hop through the portal.
And you appear back in your penthouse with a whole lot of information to digest. With that, your normal stuff, at least, you start fulfilling your contracts and working on designs, architecture, and all of that. And that is what I have for you. I don't know what else you want to include.
I think also I'm going to, since they're not here, I can't get their responses, but I will just say that I'm informing the other two through various means. I know Lachlan's away. I guess I could just text them or email them. We live in the future.
Yeah.
I don't have to go to their house. Yeah, I could just inform them, however, that apparently there's some people, I'm going to put a question mark on that, that can see who we really are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just so they're aware. And then, yeah, that's about it.
Hey friends, thank you to Brian Sanyshin, BrianSanysHyn, for the intro and outro. Find him on Fiverr and his website. Find us on Instagram and YouTube. Like and subscribe. We are also on Spotify, Anchor, Stitcher, Google Podcast, and Amazon Music. Send us an email of names, items, or ideas at fantasyfriendspc@gmail.com. That's fantasyfriends, P as in popcorn, C as in corncob, @gmail.com. I just want to say thank you for listening, and please tell everyone about the podcast. We don't pay to advertise, so go back old school and hire a pilot to skywrite that, hey, I'm listening to Fantasy Friends RPG, and you should be listening to Fantasy Friends RPG, the podcast. Listen now, and just pay them however much they want to be paid for that. It must be an astronomical amount of money, or you could just create a banner and they could fly it around on along a coast. And then people will see it and love it and like it and listen and then do the first two things. So thank you again. And the next episode should be up in about 2 or 3 weeks. Bye.